Go to the gentleman in the middle there.
Welcome back to Ohio and Cincinnati. Greatly appreciate it. I'm Brendan Sullivan. I have a military background and I have a family that's all law enforcement. It's a thankless job. It's very complex. Potentially in Ohio, they're proposing a ballot measure to change our Constitution and ban qualified immunity. Some of those incidences that happen, undermined all of law enforcement's mission. So it's very complex. You want to have, correct identification, on search warrants, things like that. But sometimes mistakes gets made. So I wonder what your position is on that ballot measure and qualified immunity, and how you balance that with, police efforts and making sure we're going after the right people and not making them crucial mistakes.
Thank you. So what's your name, if I may ask?
It's Brendan Sullivan.
And what part of the military did you serve in?
I was in the U.S. Army, and I did mainly Patriot missiles.
Give this man a round of applause. Thank you, Brendan. I appreciate you and your family's service to the country. I think law enforcement is a form of service to the country in the similar vein that you served in our military. And I will tell you that the qualified immunity ballot measure would be a mistake to see pass in this state. Here's why. We want our law enforcement to be able to actually carry out their duties and responsibilities without fear of constantly looking over their shoulder for being fear of personally sued. So people hear the word bandied about. What does it mean? It means that you have a form of immunity that says that even if the city or municipality or the state is sued, that you don't bear personal liability for that. If you change that and turn that upside down, we're going to take what is already a crisis of recruitment into law enforcement and turn it into a complete desert. That's not going to be good for the very communities who we would purport to help by stripping qualified immunities, are the ones that are actually going to pay the steepest price. So that's why we have to oppose that ballot measure, while also saying that we want the best in the profession with accountability. And how do we ensure accountability? It comes back to an earlier question, Bishop. A different kind of training is training. And this is, you really want to prevent unintended, rarely, even occasionally lethal, unintended consequences of police interactions that didn't intend to end that way. It's training is the answer, right? You don't want law enforcement training to be a once-a-year check-the-box activity where the last time they fired a firearm was 6 months ago or a year ago. It should be, but it's actually, somebody laughed at that. I don't think that's that far off the mark in terms of when the last time was that a police officer might have even operated a gun. And yet in an emergency situation, somehow we're going to expect them to be what? Somehow part of SEAL Team 6 when they haven't gotten the training that SEAL Team 6 got, let alone in the first place. So the right answer isn't for them to be sued over it, but the right answer is for them to be trained for it. As you said, Christopher, right? Most people, 99.9% of people, and in our true hearts, right, made in the image of God, I believe this, 100% of people are inherently good at our core. But part of our job as leaders is to give those good people, well-intentioned, even the police who have made mistakes along the way, most of those were preventable with the proper training on the front end. That's where we can actually make a difference. And there's a difference between, see, you use this term virtue signaling sometimes. The problem with virtue signaling, I think this is a virtue signaling kind of measure here. The problem with virtue signaling is at a certain point in time, the appearance of virtue becomes more important than actually being virtuous. So you want a ballot measure that might actually ensure regular training? We could have a conversation about that. I could get behind that. We don't even need a ballot measure. We can just do it statewide and in our cities. You want to solve the problem, that's how we address it, and that's why I'm against the qualified immunity ballot measure. Thank you. Do I speak for everyone else on this stage? We agree with that? Gary, you want to say a word?